Hello, and welcome back to I Ain't Your Mom, a realistic podcast about motherhood. Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a minute since we've recorded our last podcast episode for many different reasons. Life happens, right? That's pretty much motherhood summed up in one word. Normally, my sister would be here with me, but as young folks say, her life be life. She's a single mom and she's handling business. I mean, like handling business. She's seriously like a motivation and a role model for me. So, anywho, you're stuck with me for this episode, which is fine, right? I mean, I'm pretty entertaining, I think. Hopefully, Cease will be back for the next episode. But like I said, for this episode, yeah, you got me. Y'all, Saturday mornings are the absolute best for me. I am sitting on my couch, sipping coffee in my favorite mug that my daughter gave me for Mother's Day, which says, Mama don't play, because I don't. Looking at my Christmas tree and enjoying the silence of the morning. I mean, can it get any better than that? Motherhood is hard, Hard, hard. And sometimes finding a little spot of peace is gold. So when you can find those little pockets, take them, okay? All right. On this episode, we're going to be talking about the I cans and I can't. When we were younger, our grandmother used to always tell us, can't is still at the bottom of the hill yelling can't. And as a young girl in the 90s, I was like, what is she talking about? And back then, gentle parenting wasn't a thing, and you did not dare ask a question, especially when someone was trying to, teach you a lesson or explain something. So, as I got older, I started to understand exactly what that meant. When you tell yourself you can't, that automatically hinders your I can. And I think as adults, we do that a lot. We hinder our progress and we, disrupt our blessings a lot when we're saying, I can't, I can't. You don't know what's on the other side of that I can. And so, don't let that I can't stop you. Turn that I can't into an I can so that you can reach your full potential. And as parents, we often, allow our children to say, I can't, when we should be teaching them and motivating them to say, I can. When we get home in the afternoons, I'm an educator. And so my daughter, she'll come home, she knows her routine, puts up all of our, day-to-day things and gets her homework out because while she's doing her homework at the kitchen table or the counter, I'm getting ready to fix supper. So she's doing her homework, the day's going on. I'm rocking and rolling with supper. And all of a sudden it's I can't, man. I can't do this. And my immediate response is, can't's at the bottom of the hill yelling can't. And, I'm not a yeller as a parent. I just, I'm a calm talker, calm thinker. And so when she spits that out, my automatic response goes back to, my granny and hearing her voice, can't still at the bottom of the hill yelling can't. And back then, like I said, gentle parenting wasn't a thing. And there wasn't a question of, well, what does that mean? Especially when your elders, were trying to explain something to you. So you just took it and you kind of wondered, oh, what does that mean? When you know better, you do better. When I say those kinds of phrases, I try to stop myself and explain it to our daughter and let her know that, you know what? Yeah, you can. If you continue to tell yourself you can't, then you really won't be able to. Turn that I can't into a can. And so I explained that to her, and she's starting to understand it a lot more. And so motivating her and speaking those things out loud is helping her gain more self-confidence in herself, you know? And so it's funny when I say those things, I can see her thoughts a roll in her eyes, but she knows she better not better not roll her eyes at me. But you can see those thoughts of, man, Mom, what? But I can't help but to say those things because they are true. Those little things are so true, and they're so, monumental in those types of situations because hopefully, like me, those kind of phrases and those lessons will stay with her as she gets older, and she'll be able to teach her children those things. My sister does the same thing with her kids. She'll even her grown-up child, she'll tell him those same little phrases. And I think he's old enough now to get it, and her teenage kids are old enough to get it now. But can you really hear enough of those phrases? As an adult, a grown-up adult, Granny still says those things to us on a daily basis. So, it's like you're trying to instill in your kids some of the things that were instilled in you in a different way. Like I said, gentle parenting is a thing now, and no judgment to anybody that's practicing gentle parenting. But personally, I think there has to be a balance between the two, When you know better, you do better. As a parent, it is okay to motivate our kids and tell them that they can, even if as parents, we don't think they can or we can't. Because I ain't gonna lie, y'all, that the Common Core math that we're doing here in our state, sometimes I'm like, how are y'all doing this in class? Because I know how to do it the way we were taught. But right now, I'm like, what are those boxes for? Why are you drawing triangles? And so, it's like, pay attention in class. Make sure you pay attention in class. Or either I'm looking up a video so that I can teach myself to teach her. And so that's why I said, don't say can't. Make sure you're turning those can'ts into a can. Just because we tell our kids that they can, doesn't necessarily mean that they will be able to do it, but it gives them the motivation to try. And I think that's the biggest thing that Granny was trying to, tell us is, stop saying can't. Try. You'll never know if you can unless you try. So that's the biggest thing, y'all. Just motivate your kids. Tell them that they can. Be with them while they try. And if they fail, it's okay. They can try again, right? Mamas, you can, they can, and we will. You got this. Motherhood is hard. Life is hard. But at the end of the day, you can, because can't is still at the bottom of the hill, yelling can't. All right? It's Iron Bowl Saturday this Saturday, so I have to say it. Eagle. Hey. My husband, on the other hand, he cheers for that other team, and our house is divided. So it will definitely be interesting today for Iron Bowl Sunday in our house. But nevertheless, we can. And hopefully we will this afternoon. All right, guys. I will be back soon with another podcast. Make sure that you are liking this page. You are clicking the notification button so that you can get notifications when a new podcast drops. Hopefully Cease will be back next week so that we can entertain you a little bit more, because y'all, we are completely different, but the same. It's so weird. I love doing a podcast with my sister because she's the yin to my yang. We bring out the best in each other, and we're able to feed off of each other in ways that you'll just have to experience it. So like this podcast, like this channel, get ready for another drop here soon. All right, guys, War Eagle. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.